By now you've probably figured out that I live in the southern part of the United States, and in the South we love our biscuits. In fact, when I was in college, my nickname was Belle, and I had a biscuit recipe that I made, and whenever I went home with friends, they asked me to make my biscuits, and those biscuits became known as Belle's Biscuits. In fact, I think I probably still have a few on this hip or this thigh from a few years ago in college. Anyway, when we went low carb, high fat, we missed those comfort foods. And so this is a recipe so you can make your own low carb, high fat biscuits, and they are fantastic. They go very well with the sausage gravy that I also have a video for. So what we're going to start with are egg whites. I have used just the egg white that you can buy in a carton. Make sure that if you buy it, it just says pure egg whites. You can also separate your eggs. I've done that in the past as well. You want 10 egg whites here. Now if you have 10 egg whites here, you're going to have 10 egg yolks. You can make a wonderful egg custard, or you can make the ice cream recipe. Ice cream recipe calls for 5 egg yolks, so that's a double batch. So I've got 10 egg yolks, and however you get them, you just put them in a mixer and start whipping them up. I'm not going to whip them until soft peaks form. I'm only going to whip them until they're frothy. Now, as I was saying, I don't need to whip them until soft peaks form. I just need to whip them until they're frothy, and then I'll start adding in my other ingredients. Okay, so the egg whites are good and frothy. I'm going to add to this 2½ cups of almond flour. This is finely ground almond flour from Honeyville, and again, it's 2½ cups of the almond flour. Don't let any of it escape. Okay, now this is so simple. I used to be so intimidated by recipes that called for egg whites. Don't be. If you've got a hand mixer, you're okay. Okay, so that's 2½ cups of egg white, and then I'm going to add another ingredient with which you may not be familiar. I ordered this from Honeyville, and where'd it go? I left it over there. Thank you. This is 4 tablespoons of oat fiber. Now notice I said oat fiber, F-I-B-E-R. It is low carb. It is, as long as you're getting the oat fiber, not oat flour. It cannot be certified gluten-free in most places because it's made in a facility that manufactures wheat. However, it is gluten-free. So I'm going to add the 4 tablespoons of oat fiber. If you don't have oat fiber, you could use 2 tablespoons of coconut flour. But the oat fiber gives it a floury mouthfeel and a floury kind of taste or smell as well. I'm going to use a tablespoon of sweetener. This happens to be erythritol. You can use your preference, erythritol, xylitol, stevia. You wouldn't use a full tablespoon, so do your equivalent. I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt. This is 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And as always, I write the recipes in the description of the video, so if you're not catching it, don't worry about that. And this is xanthan gum. Again, if you don't have xanthan gum, don't worry about it. It gives a different texture or mouthfeel to it, but if you don't have it, don't worry. If you do have it, you're going to add a ½ teaspoon of xanthan gum and just sprinkle that around. And then you're going to add 1/2 cup of shredded mozzarella cheese. And I shredded this, you can use the pre-shredded, but I shredded this so I don't get any of the gums or thickeners or stabilizers that's often put into the shredded cheeses. Now let's mix that up, and then I'll add some butter. And I'm just going to use my mixer again. Okay, so that's well mixed. And now I'm going to cut in 6 tablespoons of butter. And the butter's cold. And just like before, I'm going to use my mixer to do it. And if there are chunks of butter, it's not a big deal. And I always put too much butter, and I know that I'm one of those folks who doesn't think there's anything as too much butter, but you can get too much butter. I'm just going to put it in. I'll mix it with my hand mixer again. And you may want to put more salt. Taste it before you put it in the oven. It's hard to tell with this, but you may want more salt. You can also make a sweet biscuit. I have added more sweetener and then added cinnamon, a teaspoon of cinnamon, an extra tablespoon of sweetener. It's really, really good with fruit sauce. So let me mix this up and then we'll put it in the oven. Okay, so I blended the butter right in to make it easy. The oven is letting me know that it's ready for the biscuits. And I guess these are Bell's biscuits, but it's a very different recipe that I used to make when I was in college. Okay, let me put the mixer over there. And we're gonna basically put this into the muffin tin. Now, the muffin tin, what I have done with it was I sprayed it with coconut spray. You know I love this stuff. You've seen me probably use it before. I buy it at Trader Joe's and I just spray it. You can use a different kind of fat to grease the pan. You could do butter, ghee, bacon grease, because I love that too. Any of those things will be fine. And this recipe should make exactly 12. These do freeze really, really well if you have any left. And I'm going to simply fill these up. You want to fill your muffin tins about 3/4 full. Almond flour, it's not going to rise and move. It just doesn't behave like regular flour. So whatever shape this top is when you put it in, that's the shape it's going to be when you take it out. So keep that in mind. You want to make them kind of pretty before you get them in the oven. So let me finish putting these in to the muffin tin, and then we'll put them in the oven and we'll take a peek when they come out. Aren't those gorgeous? I am so excited about these biscuits. They've been in the oven at 400 degrees for about 10 to 12 minutes. These had to go closer to 12 minutes, but my oven can be funky sometimes. And I'll show you our favorite way to eat them besides right out of the oven. And I mean, I literally just took these out, so I haven't tried to loosen them or anything. They are still warm. Probably you should let them cool. But I'm trying to get to the pool with my family, so I'm trying to hurry. So here's one biscuit. I'm going to slice it open so that you can see how fluffy and gorgeous that is. This is not an eggy recipe at all. I'm going to put some, whoops, my knife is hot now. I'm going to put some butter on that, and that is good eating. Okay, so as we say in the South. Let me cut that up again. Look how wonderful that is. And one of our favorite things to do is to take some low-carb fruit sauce and put that over it. Oops, make a mess. Low-carb fruit sauce. And this is a blueberry sauce that I had made before. And I probably should have warmed it to get a different texture. But it's very thick, like jelly. And I like a little creme fraiche. This creme fraiche is from Trader Joe's. You don't have to use creme fraiche at all. And that's not pretty, but you get the idea. Warm biscuit and the fruit sauce. You can see it melting a little bit. And the cream, you could sweeten the cream or just use a little whipping cream. That is going to be amazing. I may try it in a minute. Okay, and then another idea that you can do is sausage gravy. And I made this sausage gravy earlier, and there's a video for that, just like there's a video for the fruit sauce. Actually, I'm going to use a smaller biscuit. Let me come back down here and use a smaller biscuit. I'm going to cut this open so you can see it's just really nice and fluffy. And this one, I'm going to try to make it a little prettier. This is the sausage gravy. It's a low-carb sausage gravy. There's no flour in it. I do have a video with the recipe. You can get the recipe on the description, the video description, and I will link to that in this video. Let's put a little more, because you know, it's sausage and gravy. And we'll put that just like that, and that would make a really good morning. It's low-carb biscuits with sausage gravy, low-carb biscuits with blueberry fruit sauce and some creme fraiche, and you could forego the creme fraiche and just use the blueberry sauce if you wanted. And we're going to try a bite of this. And I hope these recipes make your mornings, and indeed your family's mornings, healthier and happier. Thanks.